And Madelene joins us now. Madelene, it was a wild 2021 for you with the regular LPGA schedule. You played in the Olympics. You nearly won the AIG Women's Open, played on the winning Solheim Cup team. How would you assess your 2021?
It was a very busy summer, to say the least. But I mean, after all, when I look back at it, it was my best season on tour so far. I didn't get a win like I did in 2020, but still, it was really one of those steps that I needed in my career.
Madelene, with the Gamebridge, you're going back to the same venue where you won the tournament 2 years ago, having skipped to a different course last year. Does that give you some feeling of comfort, or does it just kind of reinforce how impatient you are for win number 2?
Well, I mean, I'm slightly biased, obviously. It's nice to go back where you have great memories, and it's just, it's a good feeling to come back and just go back and experience that in your mind again. So I'm very excited. I think there may be a little bit more pressure on myself this year rather than last year when I was defending champion, just because I did win on this site. So I'm excited to see where my game is at and to play this course again.
You know, 2022, we do not have the Olympics. We do not have a Solheim Cup. Where does your focus surrounding those big events transfer to in 2022?
I think that most golfers, I mean, we try to go out and win every event that we play. So that's kind of my mindset is still, I really would like that, my second win to come this year. And obviously playing great in majors. I took a big step in that last year and having that second finish at the AIG British Women's Open. So I think if I can kind of continue along those lines, I hope that can happen. I might have a little bit more breathing space without having those really huge events there. So it's going to be a fun year. I'm excited for it.
That second place finish at Carnoustie last year in the AIG Women's Open was your first time contending in a major championship, and you bogeyed the last hole, fell one back of Anna Nordqvist. What did you take away from that experience?
Well, I had a few other tournaments in last year that I played well, but I just couldn't really pull a Sunday off. So for me, I kind of proved to myself that week, especially I'm on a difficult golf course in a major championship, that I can really pull out a good Sunday. It just showed that I have the game to compete. And I mean, I was obviously a little bit sad to finish in the bogey, but just being up there, being in it, and just having those emotions, being nervous, being excited, and all of that, that's really what we play for. So just having those moments where you're in contention, it's just, I mean, you learn from that, and that's really how you're going to pull the next trigger to win them.
You posted on Instagram today that your yearly training camp is over. So what is your yearly training camp? How many days? Who is involved? What are the hours like?
Well, we've actually been starting doing a little trend probably the last 3 or 4 years. My coach, Hans Larsson, comes over from Sweden. I still my high school coach from, it must be 13 and a half years now. So he comes over, brings his son, who's a really good golfer, aspiring to go to college. And we both work with, he works with Robert Carlson too. So it's kind of, I was looking at it too. It's kind of like a three generations kind of golfer coming together and just sharing experience, putting in the hours, putting in the time, and just trying to learn from each other and just bring our games to the best level we can do. And probably it was a good five days with practice.
So the camp and the preparation is over. So what are the goals in 22? Is it oriented towards specific improvements in your game that you want to make, or is it tournament results you want to accomplish?
Well, I think the biggest way to measure my tiny goals is to see the results, obviously. And I think that if I continue to improve my games, I think I can reach those goals. I mean, I would like to, I have some goals to stay up on the rankings and stuff like that. But I really do want to improve, especially if I improve my driving, hit a little bit more fairways, I'm going to improve my score too. So they kind of go hand in hand. I've been working a lot on consistency in my iron play the last few years, which has really showed off in 2021. So this year I still have a lot of focus on my driver and the wedges to really give myself more birdie opportunities.
Madelene, we've spent the last week here praising the USGA and what's happened with the U.S. Women's Open. What was your reaction when you heard the news of the purse boost and the new sponsorship and all of that going down here at the U.S. Women's Open?
I'm just so proud of what the LPGA has done over the last few years, and everybody's working so hard on stepping up the women's game, and it's just all the hard work paying off. It's great to actually get to enjoy it and get to play these tournaments that are growing, and I'm just really proud of the tour, proud of what everybody's done, and I'm super excited to see the women's game growing and all the ambassadors we have for it. It's just such a lovely game, and the talent out there is unlimited. So it's really good to see that it's stepping up.
Well, thanks so much for taking a few minutes for us today, and good luck in 2022. We'll chat with you soon.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.